Level 0. You don't always know when it begins. A tiny sting, a soft prick, a buzz that fades as quickly as it comes. This is pain at its most subtle, the kind you almost ignore. The sweat bee is one of the most common stingers at this level. It's drawn to salt, your skin after a run, your neck in the summer. If it stings, it's out of annoyance, not aggression. The sensation, like a mild static zap or the pinch of a rough hair being plucked. Then there's the black ant, not the fire ant, not the biting soldier, just the average yard crawler. Its bite is more of a protest than a punishment. You feel a quick nip, a flick of discomfort, and it's over before your brain even processes it. And let's not forget the most famous of them all, the mosquito. Not technically a sting, but still a bite, and for some, still painful. It doesn't hurt immediately. It itches later, a histamine response, not venom. Still, for billions of people, it's the most frequent interaction with pain from nature. This is level 0. Not because it's meaningless, but because it barely qualifies as pain. You'll feel it, but you won't remember it. Don't scratch mosquito bites. It spreads the histamine and makes it itch more. Use ice or baking soda paste instead. Level 1. Now the signal gets louder. Still not a scream, but enough to make you flinch, enough to make you step back. Pain at this level comes from insects that are more defensive than aggressive, but their message is clear. Don't touch me again. The fire ant is the loudest voice at level 1. Tiny, reddish, marching like it owns the dirt. One sting is sharp, but 10 is a problem. Fire ants don't just bite. They bite to anchor themselves and then sting repeatedly. Each sting delivers solanopsin, a venom that burns like chili oil under the skin. One sting feels like being jabbed with a hot sewing needle, not deep, not long, but sharp. It's followed by swelling, redness, and an intense itch that can last for hours. Multiple stings cluster into burning patches. For the unlucky, blisters may form. Then there's the no-see-um, a tiny biting midge with a name that says it all. You won't see it, but you'll feel it. A tiny burning spot that leaves a welt and lingers longer than expected. Even a flea bite, though small, brings sudden itching and raised red bumps, especially around ankles. Pets, grass, or infested furniture, that's their hunting ground. Level 1 pain doesn't ruin your day, but it makes you pause. It tells your nervous system something touched you, and it had teeth. For fire ants and flea bites, wash the area immediately and apply cold compress. Antihistamine cream helps reduce itching and swelling. Level 2. This is where pain becomes more than a reflex. It doesn't just bite and vanish. It stays. It lingers. Level 2 is where nature sharpens its tools. Start with the harvester ant, big, bold, and extremely territorial. Unlike fire ants that sting repeatedly, harvester ants bite once, hold on tight, and drive their sting deep. The venom is more potent. It causes a warm, burning sensation that radiates for several centimeters. Pain can last up to 30 minutes and is often described as glowing or electric under the skin. The paper wasp earns its place here too. It doesn't seek trouble, but swat at it, and it retaliates fast. Its sting is like being stabbed with a superheated needle, sharp, sudden, and accompanied by fast swelling. Pain typically lasts 30 to 45 minutes, but can extend to a few hours depending on sensitivity. The stable fly, less famous but just as irritating, doesn't sting. It bites. And when it does, it cuts through the skin with sharp mouthparts and drinks blood. The bite feels like a hot pinch, followed by intense itching that can persist for a day. This level is uncomfortable, distracting, and for some, memorable. It won't send you to the hospital, but it'll definitely stop you in your tracks. Clean the sting or bite site immediately. Paper wasp stings respond well to vinegar or lemon juice. Both help neutralize the alkaline venom. Level 3. At this level, pain arrives with intent. It's no longer just a sting, it's a message: back off or pay the price. The yellow jacket is one of the most aggressive members of this level. Unlike bees, it doesn't die after it stings. It can hit you again and again. Its sting feels like a glowing nail driven straight into the skin. Sharp, deep, instant swelling. Pain peaks in seconds and can linger for hours. Then there's the European hornet. Larger, louder, and more intimidating. Its sting is more piercing than a yellow jacket's and carries enzymes that break down cell walls, triggering sharper pain and heavier swelling. Some describe it as hot metal pressed into flesh. Localized reactions can include redness the size of your palm and mild nausea. And then there's the bark scorpion, one of the few non-insect entries on this list. Its sting is delicate but deceptive. At first, it feels like a pinprick. 10 minutes later, it feels like someone crushed a nerve bundle with pliers. The pain can radiate into the limb, followed by tingling, sweating, and sometimes even difficulty breathing, especially in children. Level 3 is where your body no longer trusts the pain. It doesn't just hurt, it warns you that something is wrong. Even seasoned wildlife presenters have dropped to the ground after hornet stings. Coyote Peterson himself once endured the bark scorpion and described the pain as one of the most intense neurological surges he'd ever felt. Never squeeze or press a sting site. It can spread venom deeper. For hornet stings, cold compresses reduce swelling, while antihistamines help manage allergic responses. Level 4. Pain changes here. It's not just surface level, it's internal, as if nature figured out how to reach your muscle fibers. The velvet ant, also known as the cow killer, is technically a wasp, and despite the name, it doesn't kill cows, but it can deliver a sting that makes a full-grown adult drop. The pain is immediate, burning, and spreads in waves. It feels like a spike made of heat pressed in and twisted. Swelling is less obvious than with hornets, but the pain goes deeper. It lasts up to 30 minutes but may leave aching in the tissue for a full day. Next, the giant desert centipede. This isn't an insect, it's an arthropod with venomous fangs. The bite is more like a puncture, followed by intense, spreading pain. It's described as burning lines running up the limb, like a chemical injection. Some bites trigger muscle cramps, dizziness, and nausea. And finally, the Asian hornet. Larger than its European cousin and more venomous. Its sting causes deep tissue pain. The venom can destroy red blood cells and damage skin layers. It's not just a puncture wound, it's inflammation that radiates outward like a bruised sun. This level changes how you move. You don't just feel pain, you carry it. In your shoulder, in your thigh, wherever the sting landed. When Coyote Peterson took the sting of the velvet ant, it wasn't just the scream that caught attention, it was the way he froze, unable to move for seconds. That's not drama, that's biology. With deeper stings, like velvet ants or centipedes, apply heat, not ice. Warmth helps break down venom proteins and reduce internal cramping. Always monitor for systemic symptoms. Level 5. This is the level where pain stops feeling like just pain. It becomes an event. One that hijacks your nerves and scrambles your instincts. Enter the tarantula hawk wasp, graceful in flight, brilliant in color, and armed with a sting that's been called one of the most painful ever recorded. It doesn't sting to feed, it stings to paralyze. It hunts tarantulas after all, spiders that can be 10 times its size. To win that battle, its venom had to evolve into a weapon of shock and awe. A sting from this wasp is immediate and total. It doesn't throb. It screams, your body locks, muscles tighten involuntarily. Some describe it as being tasered, a full-body jolt that stops you mid-motion. The pain is sharp, electrifying, and completely absorbing. It peaks within seconds and slowly fades over the course of 30 minutes to an hour. But it's not just the sting, it's what it does to your mental focus. Victims often report confusion, tunnel vision, even dizziness, not because the venom is neurotoxic, but because the pain is so loud, the rest of your senses shut down. Then there's the stonefish spine, rarely encountered but equally brutal. It's not an insect. It's a venomous reef fish, camouflaged and stepped on by accident. Its spines inject venom deep into the foot or leg. The pain is described as deep burning, muscle twisting, and inescapable. Without anti-venom or hot water treatment, it can last for hours and lead to shock. More than a few have begged for their limb to be amputated, just to escape the pain. Pain at this level doesn't just say, "Don't touch." It says, "You made a mistake, and now your whole body knows it." For stings like the tarantula hawk or stonefish, heat is essential. Soak the sting site in the hottest water you can safely tolerate. Heat neutralizes many types of venom enzymes and reduces pain intensity. Level 6. You're not dealing with a sting anymore. You're dealing with a systemic experience, pain that doesn't stay where it started. This is the realm of the bullet ant, a jungle guardian with a name that matches its venom. One sting delivers a toxin called ponerotoxin, which affects sodium ion channels in your nerves. That means pain doesn't just hit you, it spreads through your hand, up your arm, into your shoulder. The sting itself feels like a red-hot nail being driven deep into the flesh. And then it gets worse. The pain pulses, not in your skin, but in your joints, your tendons, your nerves. Every heartbeat seems to deliver another punch from inside. The pain from a bullet ant can last 12 to 24 hours. Some victims report fever, shivering, muscle weakness, even hallucinations. In tribal rituals, some South American tribes use bullet ants to test endurance, with stings embedded in gloves, worn for minutes at a time. Most people can't last even 5 seconds. Then there's the giant jungle wasp, a lesser-known insect from equatorial regions that delivers similarly excruciating results. Its sting causes burning, swelling, and disorientation, but more notably, it immobilizes. Even moving the limb becomes difficult. And for good reason. When venom impacts both pain receptors and motor control, your brain starts to panic. You don't feel like you were stung. You feel like something's inside you, still attacking. The aggressive Asian hornet, not to be confused with its smaller relatives, also ranks here. Multiple stings have led to hospitalization, not because of an allergic reaction, but because the pain is relentless. The venom is cytotoxic and hemolytic, meaning it can damage tissue and blood cells. 1 sting burns, 2 stings can drop you, 5, that's a medical emergency. Level 6 isn't just pain, it's disabling pain. You stop walking, you sit down, and you wait for your body to give you permission to move again. If stung by a bullet ant or large wasp, remain calm and still. Movement increases venom spread. Apply pressure bandages, not a tourniquet, and seek medical care if symptoms extend beyond the sting site. Level 7. This is where the line blurs between pain and survival response. Your body doesn't just react, it shuts down non-essential functions to survive what it thinks is life-threatening trauma. At this level sits the executioner wasp, a relatively new contender in the pain arena, large, fast, and aggressive when provoked. Its sting delivers a kind of pain that goes deeper than expected, a complex, dragging, tissue-inflaming ache. The sting is immediate, yes, but the true horror comes after. Swelling, deep ache, muscle trembling. Some victims report pain for 2 full days. It's not sharp, it's relentless. And worse, it's biochemical. The venom appears to cause tissue degradation, making the pain feel like it's spreading and multiplying. Then imagine that same level of venom, delivered dozens of times. That's what happens when someone is stung by multiple bullet ants at once. The pain amplifies, the symptoms stack. Your heart rate rises, your blood pressure may drop. The pain becomes central, not a location, but a presence in your body. Another level 7 contender, Africanized honeybee swarms. A single sting, level 1, maybe 2, but dozens or hundreds can cause pain so widespread that the nervous system can't track individual sites. Victims often describe feeling like their entire body is burning. And unlike wasps or hornets, Africanized bees don't sting to warn. They sting to kill. They chase victims for hundreds of meters, often in swarms. Even those who escape carry stings across their face, neck, chest, and more. The pain is excruciating. The swelling can cut off breathing. In extreme cases, it leads to anaphylactic shock, organ stress, and death, even in non-allergic individuals. Level 7 is the point where pain erases everything else. Time slows. Your thoughts narrow. You're not just in pain, you are the pain. If attacked by aggressive swarms, like bees or wasps, run in a straight line and cover your face. Never dive into water, they'll wait. Get inside a building or vehicle immediately and remove stingers gently by scraping, not squeezing. Level 8. At this level, pain is no longer local. It doesn't stay at the sting site. It travels up nerves into muscles across your chest, and it doesn't ask permission. Level 8 is where your body's systems start to misfire. Breathing quickens, muscles cramp, vision may blur. It's no longer about pain management. It's about body control. and how fast you're losing it. Let's start with multiple bullet ant stings. One bullet ant sting is bad enough, pain that spreads through the limb, lasting up to 24 hours. Now imagine being stung by 10 or 20. At this dose, the venom doesn't just overwhelm your nerves, it activates your entire immune system. Pain floods outward, the limb becomes hot, immobile. Some victims experience involuntary shaking, vomiting, even hallucinations, not because the venom is hallucinogenic, but because the pain short-circuits cognition. Then there's the giant jungle centipede, a segmented predator from tropical forests with venom-tipped fangs. When it bites, it doesn't just pierce the skin. It delivers a mix of proteins, enzymes, and neurotoxins. The pain feels like glowing acid pumped directly into the tissue. It spreads quickly, not just burning, but compressing, as if something is expanding inside your skin. Victims report pain that radiates up the limb within minutes. Muscles stiffen. Some experience lockjaw-like symptoms or difficulty breathing. And worst of all, the centipede may not let go. It can latch on and chew while venom floods the wound. The pain can last for days, and in rare cases, the venom causes necrosis, localized tissue death. That's not just pain, that's a scar you wear for life. At level 8, pain comes in waves, unpredictable, rolling through your system like aftershocks. Even hours later, when the burning fades, something feels off. It's not just about what bit you anymore, it's what your body did to survive it. With centipede bites or multiple stings, stay calm, lie flat, and keep the affected area elevated. Apply warm compresses and seek emergency care if numbness spreads, especially toward the chest or face. Level 9. You're no longer in the territory of physical pain alone. At this level, multiple body systems are involved. The sting itself is just the match. The fire it starts spreads through the entire nervous system. Start with something unusual, the cone snail. It looks beautiful, a slow-moving patterned sea snail found in warm oceans, but it's armed with a harpoon-like tooth that fires venom with terrifying precision. Not all cone snails are deadly, but the larger species. They deliver a cocktail of neurotoxins so potent it can paralyze a human within hours. Some species have caused dozens of human deaths. The sting itself? You barely feel it, just a prick, nothing more. Then the tingling starts. Numbness creeps into the hand, then the arm, then the chest. If untreated, the venom can stop your lungs before you even feel panic. Another level 9 contender, a mass attack from aggressive hornets, such as the Vespa mandarinia, giant Asian hornet. One sting burns like level 4, but 10, 20. The venom becomes systemically toxic. It damages red blood cells, destroys muscle tissue. In extreme cases, renal failure can follow. The kidneys can't process the debris fast enough. But even without death, the pain is extreme. Sting sites swell into hard, hot knots. Victims report a deep throbbing that pulses into the neck and head. And when breathing starts to tighten, whether from venom or panic, the situation becomes life-threatening. Then there's unidentified jungle wasps or arboreal insects encountered in remote environments, species not well documented, whose venom responses vary wildly. Their sting causes cold sweats, racing heartbeat, sudden dizziness, and in rare cases, temporary unconsciousness. At level 9, pain is not just sensory, it hijacks vital systems, your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, and in that chaos, pain becomes a threat to life itself, even without allergies. With cone snail stings or multiple envenomations, stay absolutely still. Movement spreads venom. Immobilize the limb. Call emergency services immediately and be prepared for assisted breathing if symptoms worsen. Level 10. This is the edge. Beyond this point, we leave science behind and enter what's only been imagined. No one has officially documented a level 10 sting or bite in humans. Why? Because we don't know if it's survivable. But based on what we know about venom and how it can evolve, a level 10 sting is possible. It could come from a now extinct species, an undiscovered jungle predator, or even biological weaponization of known venom compounds. It wouldn't just cause pain, it would cause complete system collapse. We're talking about instant nerve failure, muscle paralysis, rapid shock onset. Organ confusion. The liver flooding enzymes, the kidneys crashing, the heart skipping beats. The sting might not even feel painful at first. It might start as pressure, then heat, then nothing, because the brain would shut down pain perception to conserve energy for survival. One hypothetical scenario, a super envenomation from multiple evolved stingers, say a species capable of delivering necrotic, neurotoxic, and cytotoxic venom in one strike. Such a compound could liquefy cells while triggering extreme nerve pain and halting muscle communication. Victims might fall unconscious within seconds, not from trauma, but from biological override. And it wouldn't take a big creature to deliver it. Nature favors efficiency. It could be something small, fast, and built for a single perfect kill. Level 10 is where pain becomes existential, where it's not about what it feels like, but whether you live long enough to feel it at all. And though this level is speculative, it reminds us, pain is not just a human experience. It's a biological language, one that nature has written in thousands of species, each with their own dialect of suffering. If Coyote showed us how wild pain looks, this video shows you how it feels. Stay curious and stay careful. See you in the next one.